What is up, y'all? I'm back after entirely too long without a video. We now have back-to-back videos on the same day. We're going to talk about the content that was revealed today in the sixth inning program and the stuff surrounding it. We'll call it kind of the sixth inning as a whole. First thing that we found out about was this showdown here that's going to give you an Edwin Encarnacion. Now, this card always crushes. Whatever the best Encarnacion is for the year, he always crushes. I've talked about this in other videos. First base is so saturated, though, that guys like this go by the wayside. But he absolutely kills. If you've ever used him before, you know. Obviously, the defense is nothing to write home about, so you can't really put him at third. You're going to be giving away a lot. But if you just need somebody who can rake, Edwin could definitely be your guy. Then we found out about the new event that's going to be coming out and some of the awards tied to that. Justin Upton. This is I gotta go with the same exact thoughts that I have on Edwin for Justin Upton. He is a great card who often does way better than he gets credit for. He's a really sharp card, but in the outfield there's so many options. He doesn't quite have that huge name, so I think he gets slept on a little bit, but he does everything here. Great hitting, capable defense, especially with the good arm, and passable speed, above average speed. So Justin Upton, don't sleep on him. He's going to get a lot of the job done for you out there. And if you've hit well with him in the past, you might as well give this one a shot. Then we found out about this card here. Tim Simmons. We actually speculated on this card in my Twitch stream, wondering if he could possibly pull an awards card for his gold gloves, because we know the defense is going to be there. Could they finagle something in the hitting that made him good enough? They did it. I mean, it's great. It's not going to bring the power that you're hoping for. You can't get 80 from either side, but you got high contact, insane vision, amazing defense. I have a little bit of a shortstop issue right now, so I'm going to be looking to try some new guys out, and this is one of 3 that we learned of today that are going to get a look for me. And then we learned that the next headliner is, of course, going to be JD Martinez. Everyone knows about him. He's an MLB The Show legend. Hoping that he was either going to get some sort of awards card or SIG series. I felt like an award card for his Silver Slugger fits him better than a SIG. A Prime would have probably been the other one. He's not quite a signature player, but he could have gotten a Prime. Doesn't really matter. It would have been the same as this card. Just an elite hitter. Passable defense for what he normally gives, since it is a juiced card. You can hide him out there and left, but you really should be using him as a bench bat, or maybe somebody that you use for the first 5-6 innings of a game, get him 2 to 3 at bats, and then bring in a defensive replacement so he doesn't cost you late. Then in the new Conquest Map, we learned about this Blake Trinin. We've had this card before. It looks great yet again. He does, in fact, have the outlier on his sinker, so that sinker will be pushing up to 97, 98 miles an hour, which is fantastic. Great per nines, insane clutch. Bring him in with some trouble, maybe a runner on second and third, or just a runner on second. He's going to come in ready to go. He's not going to be shaky the way some guys with low clutch will be. Then we got into the Henchmen. Now, we didn't get stats for any of these guys, but they're all 91s. They're all going to be capable players. We've got Dennis Martinez. We knew he was coming because Mills unveiled him back in February, I believe. So we knew he was in the game. We just hadn't seen anything from him yet. There's going to be his first card. Man, I remember collecting that set from the early 90s. I want to say that's 91. It's like 90 or 91. It's definitely in that peak range of when I collected. Should be a decent card. He's a soft tosser type, so he's going to have nasty stuff, a lot of break, a lot of control, hopefully, as well. And then look at that card in the middle. If you watched the earlier video today when I talked about investments, I talked about how Kyle Seager used to be the MLB The Show god. When he was a Diamond Live Series, everyone lost their minds for him. He was so good, it was unbelievable. He wasn't even the highest rated. It didn't matter. It's just one of those cards that played way above his skills, and he was nuts. Even as a gold he was, but when he finally got to Diamond, it was nuts. Hasn't been that way for a little while. We're getting back into diamond territory, though. I can't wait to see what the ratings are on this card. You know he's definitely going to crush righties. I think he'll hold his own against lefties, have capable defense, and a little bit of speed, something in the 55 to 65 range. I'm going to give him a shot. I'd mentioned that there's 3 shortstops that I'm going to be looking at here because I do have a hole at shortstop right now. Seager's going to be the first of that because he's a henchman. So I'm going to be going for my boss, like off rip. I'll be putting in a lot of work. I won't get them first night. I'm not quite like my boy Twin Gaming. Respect to those of you who grind that out and get the bosses that very first night. I won't quite be there, but 2-3 days in is when I got Larry Walker. I'll have Corey Seager first night though. I'll get up to 150 at least the first night. And then there's Monty Irvin. Look at that card art. That is insane. I don't even know what year that's from, but you know that that's some old school stuff, and I love it. It looks so cool. It almost looks like a card for like a Magic the Gathering type game for baseball. It says 2 double. It's like you play it and you get a Monty Irvin double. I don't know. It says 1951. Never mind. There's the year right there. I'm a moron. Didn't even see that right there. But 1951 breakout. Interesting little factor, by the way. We didn't get any insight as to who the collection boss is going to be, but we know that you're going to have to collect stuff for every level. I wonder if maybe you pick the one that you like the most when you hit 150, but then you pick up the other 2 to get another prime and another breakout into your collection for the big guy. One thing we did learn is that it's not going to be Honus Wagner again. I still have my money on one of the top dogs, like a Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, somebody in that realm. I don't know that it's going to be a new guy who's going to knock our socks off. I wouldn't put it past MLB The Show. Oh, by the way, I just noticed my camera's kind of covering the 91. I wanted it to be there for the ratings that are on the other cards, but then it's kind of blocking the 91. Just in case you didn't believe me, I'm gonna stay there though. It's all right. You don't need to see the ratings shield there to know that I'm not lying. He's a 91, I promise. But anyway, you might want to collect all 3 to have them ready for the big dog, depending on who it is. Then we get into the big dog bosses here. We already knew who they were. They leaked the other day on accident. They had them sitting. They had the picture of the 3 sitting at like the 150 mark for the 5th inning. It's unfortunate, but now we know, and they didn't switch up on us. They kept it as Maddux, Jimmy Rollins, and Stan Musial. Since we learned about that, this has been my guy. Nothing about this changes that for me. This is exactly what I was expecting / hoping for. If you look, his 4-seamer is actually not too bad velocity-wise. It can work 93, 94, which is where he was at his peak. So I expected it to be there. The sinker is at 90, but you know that's going to have insane break. In fact, they said max break and control on the sinker and the changeup. That's going to be nuts. Those 2 pitches are going to be so sick. Then you have a 70-mile-an-hour curve. Are you kidding me? The fact of it is, with the way the other 4 pitches are working, by the time you start throwing 93, 94 at the top of the zone, it's going to look a lot faster. So if you spot the fastball properly, it can really play up. This is going to be my target. This is who I'm going for off rip. There's not enough good pitching for me. I just haven't been good with enough pitchers to feel confident. I got to go for the big pitcher. However, I got to start saving some stubs for this guy. Holy smokes, look what they did with the Jimmy Rollins. We knew he was coming. We didn't know exactly what they were going to do. There was some debate in my stream about whether or not he'd get 80 power. I knew off rip he wouldn't. I really felt confident about that. However, with the prestige, you can get him to 80 on both sides, which is massive. But even if this is all you can get, this would still be a boss card. Switch hitting, elite speed, elite defense, fantastic contact vision, and decent power. Come on. What more do you want from a Jimmy Rollins card? So this is very high on my list. Like I said, I'm going to get Maddux and probably buy Rollins pretty quickly. I don't want to pay like the, $400,000 when it first comes out, which some people do. But I'll be looking to buy this card at a pretty decent rate. I got it. It's just too good. And then there's Stan. Let's not sleep on Stan. Maddux and Rollins are getting the love because they're 90s / 2000s players, and I get that. I understand that inclination. I lived through watching those players play too, so they have a little bit more special meaning to us. And the base, the core of the MLB The Show audience, is going to relate to the more recent guys. But do not sleep on this Stan Musial. Holy smokes! Look at this offense. Are you kidding me? Like, this is one of the best hitting cards in the game. Now, if you're worried about the defense, I get it. Put him at first, because you cannot tell me that he doesn't hold his own with every good first baseman out there. And I know that there's a billion of them. I've talked about it. But if you like Stan Musial cards, come on. I mean, if you need an infusion of offense, if you just need somebody to start hitting tanks for you, look at this card. I have not use Stan Musial cards for like 300, 400 plate appearances a year over the past few years. But I usually give him a decent run. I think I used Sig for at least 150 plate appearances last year. And he was awesome. That's the thing. His cards always perform. He just doesn't quite have the cachet of the newer legends, which I get, but don't sleep on him. Then we can start to look at the prestige for all three. You know, it's +3s across the board. It also gives you a little bit of velo. I think 1 tick of velo there. So now all of a sudden the four-seamer's at 94 with a 95, 96 peak at the top of the zone. If you nail it perfectly, you can get that little extra juice out of it. No outlier, of course. He did not throw hard, but disgusting. And then there's Rollins with the double 80s on his power. For those that don't know, 80 is the power threshold for perfects to regularly leave the yard. Not always, it's not a guarantee, but they will more regularly be home runs comparatively. I mean, this is dumb how good this card is. And, you know, I kind of like when the red diamond doesn't quite fit with the team color, so it pops a little bit more. But I will say, it still very much works when it does fit the team color and blends in. Then it's just kind of that all red there with the white background. It looks amazing. And then there's Stan. And they brought this up on stream, and I think they made a good call. Look at the, let's go back to his main card so you can see a little bit more clearly. The black and white picture with everything looks so crisp. It just looks so great. Then you throw in the red sheen and the red diamond in the upper right. Absolutely nasty. I mean, unfortunately, he's so good with contact that he doesn't even get a prestige boost in his contact numbers. But everything else gets a boost, and it's gross. His fielding becomes more capable as a silver. So, I mean, you can't... Here's the thing. You cannot go wrong. Pick who you think helps you the most right then and there. If you just need raw hitting as best you can get at first base, go with Musial. You need a dynamic shortstop that's going to give you all facets of the game, take Rollins. You've been struggling with pitching. You can't find consistent guys. I say go with Maddux. And there it is, y'all. Great content release here with all these cards. I got to be honest, I'm not just gassing them. I'm interested in literally all of these cards. Now, I won't get all of them, but a lot of them are going to cycle through my team. I'm getting to the point with content where I can't say, I'm going to try him, I'm going to try him, I'm going to try. There's not going to be enough time. There's not going to be enough ways to try guys. I'm just not going to be able to keep up, which is a good thing. It's a good problem to have. But we're going to get Maddux as soon as we can. I'm probably going to at least pull a few packs to see if I get that JD. I'm going to get Seeger as a henchman. I think I'll end up doing that conquest for the Trinin. I'm going to do that showdown for Edwin. So we're going to try a bunch of this stuff out. It's going to be great. 6th inning releases. I think the 6th inning drops tomorrow. Tomorrow being Friday the 24th. So get ready, folks. You have a more... Today's opening day because there's 2 games, but one actually got rained out in the middle, or there's a rain delay. Tomorrow's really opening day, though. When, like, let me see who all plays. I'm not texting or anything on my phone. I'm actually looking something up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. Tomorrow is opening day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Who's your favorite card that you're going for here? It doesn't have to be one of the bosses. Doesn't have to be the top end. Who are you most excited to get on your squad and start using right away? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like and drop a subscription if you haven't already. It's free. Thanks.